We would like to welcome you back to episode number 2 of Forsyth Building Company's Under the Hard Hat. Once again, I am Brock Young. Beside me, I got one of our superintendents, Derek Davis. To the right of me, I got our president and CEO, Harold Forsyth. And our guest for today is one of our project managers, Lincoln Forsyth. Guys, it's good to have you back in here again.
Good to be back.
If you watched our last episode, you noticed that we didn't have a background behind us. I'm excited to tell you that we now have a beautiful background. We've been working hard on it. Harold got us a sign made.
This was Lincoln's doing through AI, though, so we copied it.
Yes.
And we actually got it done about 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, that's been my job for the week, and I just now got it done. So it's been quite the adventure. Lowe's probably sponsors me now as many times as I've been there. But Lincoln, man, it's good to have you here, and we're excited to have you on. Like I said, Lincoln is one of our project managers, and if you would, Lincoln, go ahead and tell us what is a day-to-day for you at Forsyth Building Company.
Well, there's not really a day-to-day necessarily because each day is different. That's part of what I enjoy about it so much is not really doing the same thing every day. You might come in the office every day, but your tasks are different, questions are different, what you might be doing is different. You might be submitting submittals one day, problem come up one day, submitting RFI, pay applications, everything's different every day. So there's not really a day-to-day task, but that's some of the tasks of a project manager, just submittals, pay applications, estimate to completes, working with the superintendent on scheduling and everything along that line to be the behind the scenes on getting the project built, but also the upfront handling some of the meetings and things along that line as well.
And a little golfing, probably.
Yeah, a little bit of golfing. We do enjoy our golf here. We play it a lot. In the last episode, we talked about Derek being kind of the quarterback of the job site. What does the project manager do to help the superintendent when he's at the job site? Are you kind of like in his ear all the time, his right-hand man? What is that like?
Pretty much conversations daily about tasks, what's happening, what's moving forward. Now, as far as the nuts and bolts of the project, that's more of Derek's job, superintendent's job, to actually put the parts together. But the project manager is helping get the material there, making sure that all of the right material is there, and working with the superintendent on actually getting it put together.
A little bit of a personal question, but obviously y'all two have worked together. Is Lincoln a pretty good project manager to work with? You enjoy that?
Yeah. I mean, he come on and he took on the job well. He's done good. We get along, have a good working relationship.
Well, guys, I got some questions for y'all. Today's episode is called Brick by Brick. Kind of keep it in the whole construction idea and theme and relate it to life as well. And anybody can answer first. It doesn't have to be Lincoln. It doesn't have to be Derek. But in construction, you have to do things one step at a time. You can never get too ahead of yourself. So brick by brick, what does that mean to y'all as far as what you do in your life and what you do in your work?
As far as work, brick by brick to me would be you don't start at the top and build a building. You start from the foundation up. And for me in life, that applies the same as biblical. You know, you don't build on sinking sand. Build on a firm foundation. That's the way I've always took it. You know, brick by brick to me would be start with your footings, work your way up.
Yeah, building's real important to do that, obviously. You can't put a roof on if you don't have the building built. But you'll be surprised at a lot of people that'll get things out of order like that sometimes and try to get ahead, trying to make schedule a little faster sometimes, but you wind up can get in more of a mess in construction. And really the same way in life. Y'all all been around people that you if you noticed or you've seen them do things that you know it's out of what they need to be doing, like you need a little bit more time. You need, as you get older, you can spot it a lot easier.
Yeah.
But they've got things out of order, and they'll wonder why it failed or wonder why it's not working. You can get a little too anxious, so you need to be pace yourself and be sure you understand where you are and do things, kind of in that mentality, brick by brick.
I agree, and each individual is different too. So the building, so to say, that you're building of your life is different. I catch myself comparing myself to other people and seeing what they have and thinking that I should be at that point. But you just got to realize that you're running your race and you're just at a different point in that race. Somebody might get to a point faster than you, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you're behind.
That's right. Yeah, I tell Lincoln that a lot, that it doesn't matter if you're behind this week, this month, this year, but if you're doing the things right, you may be way ahead in 5 years.
Yeah.
And I see that a lot with people, and it's hard to tell people that because nobody wants to hear you may be doing something wrong, or you need to slow down, or you need to learn.
Kind of like everybody's project is different in life.
Yep.
And what you're saying is if you do things the right way, somebody might get there a little sooner than you by cutting corners, but if you do things the right way, you're probably going to have more of a firm foundation and a better project at the end of the thing, at the end of the day.
Absolutely. And a building is like your life. You get one shot at it.
Yep.
And that's the thing that we like to tell customers, or try to make them understand, that a lot of these buildings are buildings that they're only going to build once.
Yeah.
And they need it to last a long time, and it needs to be correct. It needs to have the right materials. And a lot of times they go for cheap prices, cheap things, cheap labor, cheap people. Cheap people will always do cheap work. That's all they know.
Yeah.
And we have to try to help convince an owner of that sometimes, and make sure that they understand that prices is not just high prices, somebody making a profit. It goes to very skilled people that's going to be working on your project, and a project that you're going to have for a long, long time, and hopefully without any problems.
And, either way, you're either going to pay for it in the front end or you're going to pay for it in the back end, having to go back and fix things.
Same with life.
Yeah.
Yeah, relating that to life.
Yeah.
And it's a lot,
Yeah.
it'd be a lot harder to build that building and screw it up the first time and go back and tear it down and have to rebuild it, just like life. If you make some bad choices, rush into some things, and now you got to start from scratch, it's going to be a lot harder to start from scratch again than it would be to have took your time and done it right the first time, build it step by step.
And you've wasted a lot of time and a lot of money.
Yep.
Yeah, this is off topic, but I had a Jeep before, and kind of bought the cheaper parts just to get by, to fix it, and ended up spending more money than the expensive parts would have cost me, and they would have lasted probably way longer. But I bought the cheaper parts to fix it, and I learned that real quick. So speaking of, being prepared and planning for your life and doing things, in the construction industry and in our life, we believe it's very important to have a plan. Not necessarily saying that we know what's going to happen tomorrow, because we don't, but having a plan for when tomorrow comes. In what we do and in your life, how big is that for you? How prepared do you keep yourself on the job site?
It's daily. I mean, you get up and you have a boss that expects you to perform your work. And that's the mentality you have to have when you get up every day. I got to get up and go do a good job, do what he asked me to do it correct, and be honest about it. And I kind of relate that to life, too. I got a family to provide for, too. So when I get up, it's not just about my job. It's about my home life, too.
I mean, you pretty much said it all, but it's right. It's, it's always good to be prepared. And like I said, we don't know what tomorrow holds. We know who holds it. But that's probably one thing I've learned as far as hanging out with y'all for however long I've been working here, is that you always have to have that. Y'all put it in the bid as kind of like is it contingency? Is that what it's called? You have a fallback just a little bit in your budget.
And some of them we do. But the biggest thing is always have a plan. Like, know if we see something come out or somebody call us, hey, y'all want to bid this job with us? Don't just say, heck yeah, let's jump on it, let's do it. It may not fit where you are right now in the company wise, and you may not have the proper equipment, proper men to put on it. You may not be doing you justice or the customer justice. So, but if you meet like we do and talk a lot about what we got going on, what size job we are looking for, what we need, then
that's the perks of being the boss.
That you know what's coming, you know what you're looking for, so you can answer that a lot quicker. And the same in life. If you are prepared, you are studied up, and you understand where you are at the point in your life, you won't get pulled around by certain people and get pulled into things and situations and things that you don't need to be in right now at your point.
Yeah.
And, a lot of people think they're strong enough to tackle almost anything, but you may not be. And things you're not ready for, you need to stay away from.
And it's like that a lot when you first start a job, too. It's like I got to prove myself. You come in and you try to do too much sometimes.
Yep.
I've seen that a lot with new hires and stuff. They make more mistakes trying to do more than they should be.
Yep. Yeah, a lot of people do that a lot. They want to show you what they can do, but really, it's better to do it right.
Yeah.
Stay steady, and show me in the end.
Yeah.
That especially with us on jobs, I don't care about the up and downs as you go along, but at the end, we want to know we hit our schedule, we want to hit our budgets, and that's when I think as a superintendent or a project manager, you're successful. Regardless if you had problems along the way, but did we overcome them? Did we get there? Did we get where we wanted to be? Did we achieve what we wanted, and financially as well?
And that's kind of the mentality that I was taught growing up as far as doing things the right way and working, whether it be in life, in sports, in the classroom, spiritually. Probably one of my favorite things about working with Forsyth is you remind us every day to do things the right way. You never ask anybody to do anything unethical. And I heard a pastor say at one time that you get out what you've been putting in. He was talking about his mom was praying for him, and she just started spouting off these scriptures. And he said, man, when did she learn all of that? And it wasn't that she had just sat there and she was thinking about what she was going to say, but she had been doing things the right way and studying her Bible how she's supposed to, and it was just coming out. And it's kind of, how you expect everybody to be at Forsyth. Do things the right way, so when everybody's eyes are on it, when the building's done, you get out of it what you should.
Yeah, that's correct.
On to our next question. This one might be a little tougher. Me and Harold have talked about this one, but once again, anybody can answer. But has there ever been a decision in your life that you feel like you have rushed into it, and there was some regret in there after you made that decision?
Yeah, the house we're in now, when we made the purchase, was kind of rushed. It wasn't planned like I wanted it to be. We had been searching for the home for a while, finding different makes and models we like. Just some things came up and kind of pushed us out of our spot a little quicker than I wanted to, and we struggled for 4 or 5 years to do what we needed to, but we made it happen. But that's just one of those obstacles in life, unplanned, not ready for.
Can't just give up, though. I mean,
No, we didn't give
enter
up.
into a decision. I know, but you enter into a decision, and you realize that, man, we might have rushed this, but you still have to get up every day and
Get up.
and face it. Harold, look, if anybody knows you, they know you're a business guy. For as long as I've known you, is there any decisions in your life, or even funny decisions that you've kind of rushed into, or you didn't even really rush into them, but you made them, and then later on you regret them, thinking, "How in the world did I make those decisions?"
There was a few I jotted down when
I would say none. He's a very long thinker.
yes. Actually, that's what I told him at lunch when he brought this up. I said, I don't know of really any because I'm a slow thinker. I really think things out. But a couple of my friends, we did a car dealership one time. And the funny thing is, they were going to do it, and we was talking, and I said, hey, I'd like to get into that. I said, yeah, you can get in with us. So, I mean, just quick, just jumped in. We hired a guy that's supposed to, know the car business. And within weeks and months, we rented a place and up in Jacksonville, and we're off and running. We had a car lot, and
Big money.
yeah, it was big money that we put in, and we never got back. Needless to say, about a year probably, we decided that wasn't a good decision. We need to get out of that, and that was a rush decision.
I will say we talked about at lunch as far as not making rush decisions. Just want to let everybody know that we talked about making a podcast about day 5 of me being here, and this is episode 2.
And about
But
how long you been here? 4 months.
4 months, 5 months.
That's not really. That's kind of a quick decision to
Depends on if you have the mentality of an impulse buyer. Right?
Yeah.
It's like if you say podcast, I want to do it tomorrow.
I always have that great idea, and then the buyer's guilt after, and it's just
because you do rush into things.
yeah. Oh, 100%. Everything that I think of is a great idea at
It
that
is.
moment.
Yeah, and you want to go do it.
It's just how it
Now.
is. Yeah. One moment I'm going to play on PGA Tour, and the next moment I'm going to build buildings. It just all depends on what day of the week it is. But life's kind of exciting that way. I will say it's been exciting to me. It got me to this spot. Actually, I kind of just reached out to you on a whim, hoping that there was a spot here, and here we are with a podcast.
And I was pretty slow to move.
Oh yeah. The funny thing about Harold is
I don't know if he's ever gonna call me.
We-
He's gonna send me a text.
we had kind of met at the golf course, and then talked about it, and I didn't hear nothing from you. And so I was like, well, I'm going to shoot him a text message, remind him. So I shoot him a text message, remind him, talk with him, come up here and visit. And like a month and a half goes by, and I just like, nope, Harold does not like me. I mean, he's not going to pick me. That's okay. It's not a big deal. I'm over it. And yeah, I mean, you took your time on that, and
Well, my wife has instilled in me, if it's meant to be, it will happen.
Right.
Just be patient.
Might not be the time you want it to happen.
That's right. May not be the time you want it to happen, but if somebody come in here tomorrow and said, I've got the best deal, but it's got to happen right now, today,
I'd miss.
I'm
Or you'd
out.
miss.
I'm out. Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you right now, I'm out. I don't even want to hear your deal. I'm out. If it's meant to be, it'll either get changed or he'll come back or something will happen. It'll work out. So I just don't get in a rush about it. I want to think about it, make sure to make a right decision. And usually decisions now for me is like Derek said a while ago, is family involved in it? Is it overall good for family? Is it overall good for the company, for the people here at the company? So things that I do involve a lot of people now. So I have to really make sure.
we talked about that.
Yes.
As far as kind of the stress of being the owner of a business, and I had talked to you. I was like, man, I don't know how you do it. Like I come in every week, and I expect to get paid. Lincoln and Derek do the same thing, and that's kind of on your shoulders. So when the economy's tough, it's really tough. When the economy's good, it works out. But we
Yeah.
talked about that.
Thing with a company, any owner though, you don't know where the money's coming next. I mean, you gotta go out and find work and get decent work.
You got to hire a really handsome business developed guy.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'm stistill looking for
Funny,
that guy.
That
yeah.
was a joke.
Doesn't get nervous in front of cameras or anything like that. Lincoln, do you have any stories? Not really. You gonna pass on this? Me and you're kind of young in this. We don't really have any big decisions we've made that have affected us too big.
I can't think of anything right off, but I plan and plan and plan. I can go back 3 years ago and tell you what I spent on this day.
Well, you were ahead of the game at your age then for doing that, because most people don't even know if they got it in their bank account.
That's
or
right. Yeah.
I will say,
gas in their car.
I keep up. I do basically estimate to completes for my bank account each month. I plan and plan and plan. If I don't make any rash financial decisions or anything along that line, I can't.
I will say Harold, you talked about everything happening for a reason. Before I come to Forsyth, I was working on a farm, and I had told myself I needed a truck. That's what I needed. And I'd had a truck before this and overheated all the time, but I told myself I want a truck and I want it to be real pretty. And so I went up to a car dealership, drove it around, felt like royalty, that they're letting me in every car. I'm a stupid young kid, And I get in this all black midnight edition 2500, and I can't afford it for nothing. I don't even know why I'm in it. And I get in it, man, and like the payment is going to be all that I make for that moment. That's what the payment's going to be. And I had told myself, it got like 7 miles a gallon. It's jacked up, nice. I told myself, all right, we're just going to have to live poor. We're going to have a nice truck.
Live poor.
So my dad had told me,
Bad plan.
Yeah, I went to the car dealership, and I test drove it. My mom loved it. Everybody loved it. Didn't tell nobody what I was going to pay for it. I go back to the dealership, and it's on a Thursday, and he says, I tell you what, just take it home with you for the weekend and make sure you like it. So I said, okay. Well, my dad calls as soon as I leave the car dealership and asks me to come play golf up here in Oxford. And so I go to play golf, and on my way home that night, the transmission goes out in that truck. And if those dealership guys would have not let me take it for the weekend, I would have come Monday and signed all them papers and not been able to afford that in the first place, much less a brand new transmission that goes in there. So you're right. I mean, of all the rash decisions I've made, in that one, the Lord was like, Brock, can we slow down for a second? Just think about it. Because
he worked it out for you.
Yeah, I mean, I was jumping in that thing. It was nice to have a beautiful truck, and that would have been all I had. I wouldn't have had any food. I wouldn't have had any gas, but the truck would have been nice in the yard.
And it would have been in the yard.
Yeah, yeah, with no transmission, no nothing.
Yeah, and no fuel in it. Huh? Don't forget to talk about
Yes, so Lincoln does something pretty special. Is it with your church, or is it with a bigger organization?
So it's Hope Outdoors, and I help volunteer for our local chapter here. This is our third year that we've had Hope Outdoors. This coming on this next month will be the fourth month that our chapter is hosted. Hope Outdoors is a chapter based out of Chatham, Alabama. Is the main chapter is Chatham. Our chapter is Coosa Valley chapter. There's several chapters in Mississippi, several across Alabama, and essentially what Hope Outdoors is a group of people who take people with disabilities hunting, fishing, help do outdoor activities. We have access to track chairs. It's a really good time. Our chapter is hosting an event this coming August that that it'll be our first banquet event fundraiser. Forsyth is being the presenting sponsor on that. We're very fortunate for that as well. So we're hoping we'll have a good turnout at that event and hoping to do some good with it.
Is there ways to donate, give to?
Absolutely, yeah. So our chapter director is Logan Sibley, and our assistant director is Christy Cochran. You could reach out to either one of them. Reach out to me. We would be happy to take some donations. Anything for the event too. At that point, raffle items, anything along that line. We'd be happy to take anything.
So
Is that what
gun
you do at
scopes.
the banquet?
Yeah,
Is
so
that what they'll have
yeah,
raffled?
so basically we're gonna have steak dinners or steak or chicken dinners, and it's gonna be a banquet type setting, and it's gonna have door prizes and raffle items. We're gonna raffle off a few guns.
That'd be cool.
Probably a silent auction and
Yeah,
some
silent
other
auction.
stuff. So, yeah, if anybody wants to donate anything to that would help too. And also, what date is it? Do you know?
It's August. Let me look it up. I should have known that.
Yeah, while you're looking that up, the people that you hunted with last year, you can still talk with me. You got them a pretty good deer, right?
Yeah. So the guy that I took hunting last year, it was pretty special. I had a deer that I'd been coming into my front yard, and to give y'all listeners some kind of backstory, I have 6 acres of land, and I have houses on both sides of me. Basically, not a very big patch of woods. So I just got the idea. I'll put up a trail camera and throw out some corn in my front yard and see what I've got. Well, a pretty decent buck had started coming in. So I fed him for 3 weeks, and he was coming in like clockwork. I mean, same time every day. And so I was like, daggum, if he keeps coming in, this hunt's coming up. This might be an opportunity. So
Was y'all gonna sit on the front porch?
well, basically.
did.
So I set up a blind about 3 days before the hunt. I went Bass Pro Shops, bought a new ground blind, set it up 80 yards from the house, 100 yards from the house, and we set it up over looking at corn pile. He's still coming in like clockwork, same time every evening, daylighting every day, and it was supposed to be a backup spot because who wants to go really sit in somebody's front yard and try to hunt a deer? And turns out we had the most hunters this past year that we've ever had. I believe we had 21 hunters, and we had a hard time finding guides and places to go. So we ended up having to use that spot. And so we sat there, and I telling him, look, I know we're in my front yard basically, but there's a deer coming in, and he's gonna be here within an hour or two. And so turns out we sat there 30 minutes maybe, and that deer walks out. And he gets pumped up. He's excited, and I'm the guide at this point. So I'm handling the gun, everything along that line. So he gets pumped up, he's excited. I get the gun set up for him and everything. I said, "You ready?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "All right, you on him?" "Yeah." Click. His great guide forgot to load the gun.
Yeah,
Worst
So-
nightmare.
So we're sitting there making all kinds of racket, racking a bullet in the gun. That deer's sitting there looking at us like, oh my gosh, this deer is about to run off. So finally managed to get the gun loaded, and he pulls back up on him and shoots him. I'm like,
It's meant to be.
it looked like a good shot. I was like, he smoked him. So he's all excited. We're pumped up, high fiving. And I'm like, I tell you what, he's in a wheelchair, so he wasn't easily to get out. It wasn't easy for him to get out of the blind and go down there and look right then. So I was like, look, let me go look. I'll go look, see if we got some blood, and come back to you. So I grabbed the gun, go down there and look, and there's no blood, not a drop. I'm like, I know we hit this deer. I look and look and look. I walk down in the woods, look, no blood. I'm going to have to go up there and tell this guy he missed. So I go up there and I tell him, I'm like, look, I don't know. There's not any blood, but I know you hit him. You had to have hit him. It looked like you hit him. So he said, can I go look? I said, yeah. So I get him out. We roll him down there. We're looking, no blood. I'm like, let me walk down this holler right here and see if I can see anything. So I walk down through there. I'm walking. I look up, and I about step on him. He's laying 5 feet from me. Now I holler up there to him. I say, hey, you got him. And he just, whoa, whoa.
That's awesome.
And that was the biggest deer he'd ever killed. It was really fun. I get more out of it, I think, as an enjoyment that way than I ever would if I killed that deer.
Absolutely.
Man, it's special. It is something special.
Well, in wrapping things up, we will be sure to get pictures of that deer in y'all's chapter put in this video so everybody can see it.
That event is August 23rd.
August 23rd. It's a banquet, steak dinner.
Steak dinner. It's going to be at the Family Life Center in Ramburn.
And do you know the price for a ticket or?
I want to say, so that we're offering table sponsors. So you can do a sponsorship on a table. I believe it's 8 seats. I'd have to check to see what that is. And if you want individual tickets, I believe they're $50 a ticket.
But it's for a very good cause.
It is. It's for a very good cause. You're getting a steak dinner, chances to win, door prizes, raffle items. I believe it's a pretty good price for what you're getting out of it too, and it's going for a really good cause.
Well, guys, once again, we appreciate y'all watching this, enjoying some time with us, talking some things about life, about the construction industry, and heck, even some deer hunting. Y'all be sure to stay tuned. Keep watching. I hope you like the background. Once again, this is Derek, Harold, Lincoln, and I'm Brock. We sure do appreciate y'all.